The first session of the 18th Lok Sabha is all set to begin from today, with the oath taking by the newly elected members, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is the first session of the Parliament after the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections, where the NDA won 293 seats collectively. However, politics has peaked ahead of session, with the BJP and the Congress after each other. Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju has put out a message seeking cooperation from the opposition ahead of the session. He's also said that parties must unite to serve the nation and keep politics aside. Meanwhile, the India bloc took a dig at the BJP, saying that the Parliament must discuss people's issues and not do the cheerleaders' job. India bloc also said that the Parliament Minister must walk the talk.
ये सब इशू नहीं है, तो जो इशू नहीं है उसको इशू के रूप में चर्चा भी नहीं करना चाहिए। एक साफ सुथरे तरीके से पार्लियामेंट को चलाना है। सब पार्टी के सदस्य को मिलकर के पार्लियामेंट चलाना है, सबका काम है। जनता ने निर्देश दिया है, जनता ने अपना फैसला सुनाया और जनादेश के बाद सरकार और विपक्ष मिलकर के पार्लियामेंट चलाते हैं।
What message you would like to give to the opposition, given the fact that they are planning to corner the government on several issues?
No. Right now, let us begin our new parliament session, the 18th Lok Sabha, in a positive note.
We all know that 17th Lok Sabha, the opposition MPs were less. We were around 52 from Congress and other parties and others. Our voice has been silenced and our mics has been switched off. All these kind of things, our opposition demand for raising the real issues was not allowed to be in the parliament. We were only protesting outside and others. This time we are around 240 MPs are there in the opposition bloc, India Alliance, and we all believe that the real issues of people, for example, the NEET examinations, every day there is one or other happening and nobody is taking responsibility. So these are all the real issues. We want the real issues to be discussed. We want the parliament to function. We are ready to be part of it.
Ashutosh Mishra is getting us more details on that story. Ashutosh, give us a sense of how the opposition, particularly the Congress, plans to take this forward, given that this is a temporary appointment, but I mean, right noises have to be made, isn't it? It's the first day of the 18th Lok Sabha today.
Well, not really much. They made an objection, they raised this voice, and now they are marching on the other issues, which also include the, the moving of the Gandhi statue and others to the another annex in the part of the parliament. So on that, because already the appointment has been made, the process has to go through, and they know, because unless you take the oath, so only that you will be a member of this parliament. So the oath process will be carried out, and once the house assembles after taking every oath, then only the routine business will be starting. So the first 2 days, very unlikely that there will be some storm or something, a very aggressive approach by the opposition in the parliament. They made an objection and it was done, it was recorded, it has been noted. Now they wanted to convey the message to the people that has already been conveyed. Now this march carrying out a constitution will not only be the issue of the Pro-Tem speaker, the how constitution norms have been floated, but also on the issue of the statutes and several other. And I said during the previous conversation that constitution issue has been the biggest weapon by the opposition during the election against the BJP. And that also said that on several other issues, we only want safeguarding the constitution tradition, constitutional norms, constitutional rules to be followed by the government, which has the number in the parliament. So on that terms, probably first 2 days there will not be aggressive approach. Once the oath is taken, once the house assembles for the routine business, only you will see on the several other issues they will be taking forward. And clearly remember, it is not only right to say that it's totally inappropriate not to register your protests in the parliament, because that has been a tradition. If a government with a majority number doesn't discuss the issue that the opposition want, the opposition members are often protest, and we have seen during the UPA 1, during the UPA 2, and then even the previous, when there was weak opposition in the number, they did protest, and it has been a constitutional right of a parliamentarian to register the protest, to mark a protest in the house. So clearly on that, when you have a higher number and there are current key issues, they will want to make government accountable and the answerable on the certain people's issues.
Ashutosh, just coming back to you in a moment from now, let's tell our viewers about the Pro-Tem speaker and what is this controversy, what is this row really about? Now, BJP's Bhartruhari Mahtab has been appointed as the Pro-Tem Speaker. Opposition has questioned the Pro-Tem Speaker appointment. Bhartruhari Mahtab is a 7-term Member of Parliament from Odisha. Congress says the longest-serving MP should be picked, and that isn't Mahtab, is what the Congress is saying. Opposition alleges Congress's K. Suresh has been overlooked by this government. Congress says that K. Suresh is serving for the 8th time as a Member of Parliament. Essentially, he is more senior to Mahtab, is what the Congress essentially is now saying. Mahtab is the longest uninterrupted term as MP. The government essentially is saying that K. Suresh lost elections in 1998 and 2004, essentially that, in fact, he was not a Member of Parliament. He did not serve as an MP for at least on 2 occasions. So not at a stretch has he been 8-time MPs, unlike Mahtab, who's been an MP for 7 times in a row. And that, Ashutosh, is the crux of the argument. Also, Ashutosh, talk to us a little about what are the various other issues that are going to be raised by the opposition today on the first day of the 18th Lok Sabha.
Well, specifically, it will be the issue of the NEET. First, because that's the most concerning issue that involves millions of students. Their life is at stake, their future is at stake. So beyond the NEET issue, the first will be the NEET. And other than that, there will be issues pertaining to the inflation and the unemployment. And those are the key issues. Remember, the first session will only be reflecting on the issues that we have seen, key contentions made by all the parties during the election. So they will make government accountable on certain issues, including the education issue and several others. Now, also the share revenue part of the different states, that will also be making, some way through in the debate when all the MPs will bring out their local issue. But remember, already we are seeing prices of the essential commodities are slightly going up. At 12:30 this afternoon, the Consumer and Food Affairs Department will also give certain data how the government is ready to intervene in the market to contain the inflation, because prices, be it the onions or the wheat or even the pulses, are slightly going up. So that will also be reflecting in the debates. We have also heard about the issue, the opposition saying that unemployment issue, specifically the filling up the vacancies which are due for many years, that will also be raised up by the parliamentarian. But on that, because the government said, let's discuss, let's debate on the issues which concern the people. Hopefully when the opposition takes up, the government will also, taking its accountability, will respond to those questions. And on that, that's how the parliament functions. But if there is a resistance from either the side, for example, if opposition raises something issue and the government doesn't agree to those demands, then there is likely to begin a deadlock between the opposition and the government. Subsequently, if the government wants to debate something and the opposition creates some hurdle, that will also lead to a deadlock. And that's how it has been the tradition in the parliament. We expect there is a positive approach in the parliament by both the government and the opposition to debate and discuss. But that's how also been a tradition. If one side doesn't agree to it because they want to run a house on their certain agenda, then there has been a protest in the house, not for last few years, but for many decades. That has been a tradition in the parliament. All
right, Ashutosh, I'm going to ask you to, in fact, continue to be with us as we come back to you for more on that big story that we are tracking today, the first day of the parliament session. A range of issues, expect that to be raised by the opposition, but it has already started on a note which is not very friendly, essentially, with the government appointing Mahtab as the Pro-Tem Speaker, and the Congress and the opposition saying that this appointment by the rule book essentially is unfair. It's not by the rule book, is what the Congress is saying.